All right. Sorry about that. Okay. Tonight's live is about a question that I got from a viewer that is really a great question for all of us giant breed dog owners. And you tell me what you think. I think this is an excellent question. So, when you have a giant breed dog, in our case, we have Mastiffs. I think that there are misconceptions about Mastiffs. People hear the word Mastiff and they think, ferocious or attack dogs. I don't know why the word Mastiff is always in that connotation, but it is. There are different kinds of Mastiffs. There are English Mastiffs, Bull Mastiffs, Neapolitan Mastiffs, Cane Corsos. My daughter in California has a Brazilian Mastiff. That dog's a man eater. The English Mastiff has the reputation for being super kid proof, but they will defend the home. The question from our viewer tonight was, how do I feel about security cameras? This is an excellent question because my dogs are huge. They are beyond, fences. When you pull in, a lot of my dogs, if they're out for the day, maybe in the yard, there's usually a 7-foot fence. I have fences on this side of the house where they can walk out the front door. I have fences off the back of the house. They can walk out the back door. During breeding season, it's important I keep my males separate. Anyway, security cameras is an excellent topic for tonight's discussion. I 1000% believe in security cameras, and I'm going to tell you why. I also have dash cams on our vehicle. Why do we believe in video cameras? On all around the garage, all around the house, showing in the field, behind the house, on the side of the house, the road side, the driveway side, this way the driveway side, that way from the garage. I have so many security cameras. I have security cameras in the great room, inside the front door and the back door. I have security cameras in the garage, and we have dash cams in each vehicle. We also have video cameras that show the field and the lot next door. Why do we do this? It is not to protect the public. We have security cameras to protect our dogs. If someone comes to your home, encounters your dog, they can say your dog sniffed them or nipped them or did something, intimidated them or something. We have security cameras everywhere, not just because of potential intruders, but so that you or somebody else does not ever say one of our dogs did something it did not do. Every dog area is filmed, the front, the back, the side, over here. There is no way you can be on our property and like in the driveway and the other way, all points when you're coming into this property, it says, like, smile, you're on candid camera. This whole property is videotaped with very, very high-tech 1080p cameras that are on our phones, on his phone, on her phone, on my phone. And what's wonderful about that is if you pull in our driveway, it protects everybody. It protects you. It protects us. It really protects the dogs. So, I was asked recently, what do I think about muzzles I have something I want to show you. Our dogs are very, very, very well behaved, but they are an anomaly in public. The locals around here all know our dogs, but during the summer months when we walk on leash down through town, we go to the library or we go near the parade or we go anywhere where there's a lot of people, not all the time, but this is something you should consider. This is called the Baskerville muzzle. Okay? Let me see if I can show you this. So, you measure your dog's face. This is not expensive. It goes right over the bridge of the nose. It allows lots of air. And this basket covers the whole jowl of the dog. It goes, a collar slips through it, and it goes around your dog's neck. The neoprene ones are garbage. You're better off to buy leather. Why are muzzles so important? Not because my dogs bite anyone. The muzzle is important at parades or in public so that you cannot say, my dog intimidated you or bit you. The muzzle is to protect the dog, not to protect the public. Same thing with security cameras. Like I said, if you are going to have a puppy from me, or if you have giant breed dogs in general, even a German Shepherd, or any dog could bite, any dog will protect, but for the price of security cameras that you can pick up end of season, sometimes on clearance, you may have points. Think about security cameras, because as for us, if you are on our property or on the lot next door or in the field or behind the house near where the horses were, if you're on the property, you're being picked up by cameras. So why is it important for a breeder? Well, because our pups are expensive. Who knows? Somebody could try and break in. Not a good idea, but they may think about it, right? Why are these tools so important? So I have several different types of security cameras. We have wired-in security cameras that there's 100 feet of cable running underground that Scott and I installed. And they go to our phones and they go to cameras and they're everywhere. They're the front door, the back door, the driveway. Like I said, every point of the house showing into the field, this dog area, that dog area, the deck. You really can't be on our property without coming up. And they're night vision. Very high-tech night vision. So, yes, it was pricey. It has paid for itself. It keeps people honest, 100%. Now, since Scott and I installed the cameras that we did with 8 cameras, I since then have upgraded to other infrared cameras. I have game cameras in the trees. And again, not so much for intruders. We have wildlife up here. When I had horse fencing up, deer got in there, a coyote got caught in the horse fencing, something was ripping down our horse fencing every night, so we installed the game cameras to show that what it was, and that's how we learned what it was. Now, here's the funny part. All of our neighbors have cameras on their property. I'm just telling you, the guy across the street has a very high-tech security system that shows all around the back of his property and shows our house. So not only can this property not be penetrated, But our cameras pick up their property, cameras pick up our property. The guy next door has cameras, they have cameras. This is like, it's crazy. So, but for the price of security cameras, if you have giant breed dogs, it's not it's not even, I mean, listen, we live in the country, nobody really comes here. Everybody knows I have, a million mastiffs or six or whatever mastiffs, seven mastiffs. It's not even about protecting the public. My security cameras protect my dogs. My cameras know where my dogs are at every second. It protects my dogs from the UPS guy. The UPS guy comes, looks in the window, goes, oh my God, he can't say the dog did anything. He looks through and sees Patton's head. That's really the most of it. But our wonderful clients in New Jersey own a PIP advertising, PIP, what's it called? PIP something, printing, and they made us all of our security cameras, our notepads, our business cards, our magnetic things for all the vehicles that say Bella Vista English Mastiffs. So when you pull in the driveway, you see on the trailer lot, the front of the house where the garage is, and coming on this front lawn, welcome to Bella Vista English Mastiffs. This property is highly surveillanced. And it tells you that when you pull in the driveway. Anybody knows that. So I feel like this is 2025. Yes, we have extensive cameras. It's not paranoia. It's that we love our dogs so much. The cameras are more to protect the dogs than they are to protect you. Unless you're trying to break in my home, our home, you ain't going to have a problem with my dogs. But the dog across the street is like a 2-pound Yorkie. They have a lab and they have a lab. Our dogs keep the whole neighborhood safe. I said to someone, there was a construction crew on the highway last summer, and they saw all the dogs in that front area. Of course, I have dogs here too, but anyway, the guy goes, wow. When your dogs stand up, how tall are they? I said about 6 feet. Wow. And he says, well, and is it like the land is like a little gradiated? Well, yeah. That fence hold them in? I said, I hope so. So, and it's funny to make jokes about it, and it's all good fun, but the truth is, we have cameras. Scott has cameras where they live. They're inside the house, they're outside the house. You meet a sign when you come here that said this property inside and out is surveillanced. I don't want anybody coming here causing problems. And it's 2025. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, as I told you, the Baskerville muzzle. Don't be fooled by cheap imitations. This has nice leather. I keep it clean. Well, it's not clean right now, but I usually keep it oiled up, like with saddle soap. It's got rivets right here. Every one of my dogs have had it. If I have to take Bruno downtown in public, Bruno feels like he is the young knight of the property. He stands at attention and he surveils everything. Patton kind of lays back and says, I'm going to let the young prince take care of the property. Patton is more like sitting on his throne, smoking a cigar. Bruno is extremely aware that he is the young buck now, that Gage is gone. He takes his job seriously. He stands there and he watches everything. He doesn't bark. He's not destructive, but he watches. And so, if you're welcome in and you go inside and you play with Bruno and you're with us, he's the nicest dog on the planet. But again, a Mastiff is a family guardian. Now, if you want a Schnauzer, go buy a Schnauzer. If you want a Shih Tzu, go buy a Shih Tzu. If you want a French Bulldog, go buy a French Bulldog. These are not French Bulldogs. People come to us because they want that gentle giant, kid-friendly, family-oriented home protector. Why are they home protectors? Who would break in your house with a 250-pound Mastiff there that stands up 6 feet? You got to be out of your mind. If my dog stands on his hind legs and makes contact with you, you're going down. So the weight alone is something to be contended with. So, law enforcement around here all know us, Maine State Police, Border Patrol, and Holton. They have come and said, oh my goodness, those dogs are so beautiful. So who are my clients? Who are our clients? Nurses that work long shifts, come home to an empty house, men that have custody of their children, and their children, their teenage children are alone in the home while he works. The demographic of people that buy from us are military veterans that come home and need that strong, silent partner, because they are silent. They're not destructive. They're easily potty trained. We have tongue and groove pine everywhere. My dogs are awesome. They are everybody's best friend once you're inside the house. So military members are our clients, retired law enforcement, nurses that are coming home and maybe live alone, young couples, like I said, single fathers that have, their teenage kids at home while they work. So the demographic are, for us, the people that really love what the Mastiff represents. Strong, fearless, calm, level-headed, easily trained, family-focused, solid, safe, honest partners. Out of all the breeds I have ever worked with or trained, the Mastiff, in my opinion, is the most honest. The most honest. My mother had a Shih Tzu that if you sat near her and too close to my mother, she'd jump up and bite you in the face. Okay? I know people with German Shepherds that can't be trusted around kids. Dalmatians are not really trustworthy. Great Danes have been known to bite kids. Like, I'm not saying Great Danes. I don't want any hate mail. What I'm telling you is the Mastiff is so incredibly level-headed. They have a good mind. They can sense good and bad. They smell well because of the short nose. When they can just smell good people, bad people. In all the years I've been taking my dogs in public, I had one incident. Last summer I took Kiana into town, and you guys all know Kiana. She's like the queen. I took Kiana in town. I was trying to videotape to show how versatile and, what I can do, with the dog, and how I'm only 5 feet tall and 100 pounds, but I can walk this big dog. I showed you the harness that I use. I showed you the big, very soft collar that I use on her. We got out of the truck down by the bridge where the footpath is that goes all around the Mattawamkeag River. And a guy was running towards us across the bridge. He seemed like he was very erratic. He was sort of talking to himself. It was a little frightening. He came down the walkway quickly. Kiana and I was about halfway across the bridge. On the video, you see me turn her around because you can see him coming. I walked her back to the truck in between me and the next vehicle, and I waited for that guy. He actually went on North Street. So, again, I'm constantly looking out for my dogs. Now, these dogs are 100% protectors. Again, if you want a Schnauzer, buy a Schnauzer. These are Mastiffs. They will protect you. In fact, Without a moment's notice, they will gladly give their life for you. I used to tell my clients something that I haven't said in a long time, but this is really at the core of how I feel about the Mastiff. This breed cares about is their person, is their family, is their children. If your wife is home alone and someone tries to get in the door, the dog is going to intercept. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. There is no way this breed is letting anyone near their family or their children. When you come to pick up your puppy, I tell you that. I also tell you if you are parked downtown, if your wife is parked downtown with the kids in the summer, all the windows are open, and the dog is there, and someone tries to touch into the car or open a door, the dog is going to intercept. My goodness, this is 2025. If you don't want to carry a gun to protect your family, why not have a dog that intimidates people? So years ago, I used to tell our clients this. If you're walking on a trail with your dog and someone encounters you to intend bodily harm, this breed will intercept. I never let anything between me and my dog. If you see me in public walking one of my dogs, you will see my dog on the harness right here with the handle. There is no separation between my dog and the handle. I then have the thick collar, which I have over here on her neck or his neck, whoever, and I have my leash in my second hand, and I'm walking like it's luggage. You should get the picture when you encounter me. Don't run up to me. But people do. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I saw them dogs outside your house. They're so beautiful. I got to have one. Listen, I agree. Everybody should have a Mastiff. If you haven't experienced a Mastiff, the calm, cool, protective, fun, rather silly, kid-proof personality, and how my granddaughter Avery could sit here and put big goofy sunglasses on Kiana with a hat, Chris's the fedora. My grandchildren could put neckties on them, glasses, Halloween masks. These dogs can handle everything when it comes to children. The problem you may encounter is it's your job to socialize when you get your puppy home. If you are getting a puppy from me, I cannot stress enough, it's your job to socialize. It is not the dog's fault if you have not socialized him properly to anyone you want to be able to walk in your door unannounced or on your back deck or in your yard. The dog understands one thing. This is my family. Those are my children. And I never saw you before. So, it's not the dog's fault. It's your fault for not socializing him correctly. And to anybody and everybody. And so, there's no excuse. A dog, a horse, an animal should not be blamed for user error, owner error. You know, Mary 12 Ponies wrote a book. It's called No Problem Horses, Only Problem Riders. Mary 12 Ponies, No Problem Horses, Only Problem Riders. 100% the best book any young rider or mature rider just getting back to riding should buy. It has a little of everything in it. It teaches you about, pets don't come looking for us. We go looking for them. We go out of our way to purchase them. We go to great lengths to purchase them. The least we could do is realize that's life. They depend on us for everything. They love us completely. Love them back in the same unconditional way. Nobody is going to blame my dog or dogs for anything that is my fault. Okay? So these are the things. We don't make excuses. We make changes. If you are a conscientious pet owner, you should be looking at what are you feeding your dog? How much quality time are you spending with your dog? Your Mastiff should go home from us potty trained, vaccinated, socialized, and then you should pick up where we leave off. This is also part of the reason we encourage FaceTiming your puppy from birth to take home. I tell this story a lot, and if the person I'm talking about is watching, I'm sorry, I'm not going to mention your name, but it's hysterical. We have sold puppies to very high profile people. Okay? I have a adult dog now in New York that's in the home of one of President Trump's Secret Service agents. I have a adult dog that was, obviously they were sold as puppies in an FBI agent's home. I have adult dogs in New York that are in the home of other, like New York police officers. Every one of them FaceTimed their puppy. You want to know what it sounds like when they FaceTime their puppy? Big, hardcore FBI agents? Okay, let's see if I can do this with a straight face. Oh my God, Daddy's little baby. Let me see, Daddy can't wait to get you home. Oh my God, what did you do? Daddy's so proud of you. Daddy gonna take you everywhere. You're gonna be spoiled rotten, Daddy's big boy. If you're watching, you know who you are. I won't say his name, but I tease him every time I talk to him. Yes, big, tough FBI agents and Secret Service agents talk gobbledygook baby talk to their puppies just like the nurses do and the housewives do. Probably more so. So, what I'm trying to tell you is there are things you can put in place that protect your dogs. Security cameras around your property. And again, I have several kinds. We have game cameras in the woods here. We have the security cameras that Scott and there's 8 cameras around the points of the house and the points of the garage. We have another closer one that films the front door. We have one outside this door. We have one outside the back door. It's not so much because anybody is actually going to break in your house. But if those cameras are running, nobody can say your dog did anything it didn't do or that it wasn't on the property. Think about the things. Sometimes maybe people are jealous and they can say his dog got out of the yard and come over to my place, or the dog nipped me or something. My security cameras are everywhere. You're never going to say one of my dogs did anything. We also have dash cams in the vehicles. A dash cam, you can buy them from $15 all the way to $25. Let me tell you, having a good dash cam can really save you a lot of aggravation. Trust me, I know. So I had our dash cam was super high tech. It filmed the whole front of the vehicle and would do this at night. It was sensor, remember, you could see in color. It was crazy. And I think I paid $25 for the one in my truck. So these are simple things you can pick up when they're on sale. If Amazon, if you have free shipping on something, security cameras are an amazing way to go. And security cameras protect who's in your house. They protect people on the outside. They really protect your dogs. This harness, if I have Bruno in town and I feel that, there's going to be a lot of people around, I may put a harness on him. Not to protect the public. Bruno is the coolest, calmest, controlled dog on the planet. But you're not going to say my dog nipped you if we walk by you. The Baskerville muzzle, not to be confused with the neoprene one, because a Mastiff will open their mouth and the neoprene one will break. Go with leather, go with the studs, keep it clean, wipe it up with a baby wipe, and then rub a little, whatever, furniture polish or anything on it. So We're just talking about things you can do to protect your dog and protect yourself. Now, here, when you get puppies from us, we vaccinate, we worm 2, 4, 6, and 8 weeks. I do weekly fecal samples in the whelping room. We do all the first vaccinations, and we do a courtesy leptospirosis vaccine. We encourage you, if you live in New Hampshire or upstate New York, wherever there's deer, make sure you do the Lyme vaccine. It comes in 2 boosters, might be $20 and $20. If you've ever seen a horse with Lyme disease, or a dog, or a human, you don't want it. With us, you do have to vaccinate your dog. I felt bad. There was a couple in New Hampshire about 8 months ago that called and did their interview. I was excited for them to get a pup. They were first on Bruno and Faith. They promised me they would spay the female that's in the home. I explained to them, when Gage was 6 months old, he was trying to breed my girls. You're going to need to spay her. And then I explained to them the reason spaying is important. Female animals and humans are designed to procreate. If your dog comes into heat and you don't breed her, you run a very high risk of pyometria, brucellosis, and that's almost a death sentence. Unless you have a vet that really is on point about pyometria, brucellosis, it's almost a death sentence. 80 years ago, they used to spay and neuter at 6 months old. Then you had people wanting to leave them intact. I'm not going to get into why we leave them intact 18 months to 2 years now. I will tell you, if you have a male, you run a very high risk, if you do not neuter, for testicular cancer. Why do you not want to neuter your puppy? The couple that went to contract, it doesn't matter who. I have a lot of clients in New Hampshire. When they went to contract on the first Bruno and Faith male, we were all on board. They were going to make an appointment to spay their female, which I told them, you run the risk of mammary cancer and, other illnesses that could possibly kill the dog. And the dog didn't come from a good breeder. They had health issues with the dog anyway. And they promised me they would get her spayed. As we came close now, they decided they were not going to spay her. This created a problem for me. And then they decided at the 11th hour, a month ago, they decided they don't want to vaccinate and they don't want to neuter. I said, what? You've been under contract for 6 months. If you would have told me you don't want to vaccinate and you don't want to neuter, I would have never let you go to contract. Do you not realize you live in the country? If your pup gets bit by a tick and gets tick fever or Lyme disease, you're going to wish you vaccinated. She was very indignant. She was very upset. Well, I feel that you're not the breeder for us. If you want to inject your dogs with chemicals and blah, blah, blah. Come on. We're not doing that, okay? You have to vaccinate. You should vaccinate for Lyme. We do the complementary on top of the first shots. We do the leptospirosis vaccine as a courtesy to get you going. We also microchip at birth. If you tell me you want dew claws done, I will remove dew claws for you. We do everything so that your life is easier. We even potty train from 4 weeks in the summer to 9 weeks. In the winter, it's 5 weeks to 9 weeks in all kinds of weather. We have a little relay system here. Every puppy drinks with mom, eats with mom, and goes out and potties with mom. We have videos on this Facebook page of me standing out there in sleet, and then my daughter would have a warm towel in the kitchen. Bring each puppy in, get it warm, put it back in the whelping room. Each puppy, praise, praise, praise. So you got to meet me halfway on this. You just can't buy a puppy from a reputable breeder and think there are not some things. We want the best for our puppies. So tonight's talk was about security cameras that don't just protect you for intruders, they protect your dogs. You can't come here and say my dogs did anything they didn't do. Isn't that wonderful? And there was another reason we had security cameras everywhere was I had horses in the field, and the lunatic that lives on the corner, she's not a lunatic, she's just a little, she hated horses, then she hated me, then she liked me, then she hated me. And she just, one of them people, you never tell what you're going to get with her. She would let that horse fence down. She would lean the horse fence down, then Tango would go out, Tristan would go out, and Majesty, my big black Percheron mare, would, could have gotten in the road. Thank God they would just go back on the farm and never got in the road, but they would go back the back pasture here. But we put the security cameras up kind of for her. And when I would see her, I would say, to be clear, touch the horse fence again, and you're on candid camera, and I'm taking my phone, and you're going to answer for that because you're endangering the public if you let a 2,500-pound, 17-3 hand black Percheron mare, if you let her out, she runs in the road and she kills a family, you're responsible. Because I'm insured, I have fencing, I have electrical fencing, but if you pull it down with something wooden, so we don't have horses anymore, and she kind of has changed. She has had a come to Jesus moment, and we're grateful for that. And it took a lot of praying because she did anything and everything to get under my skin, moving property pegs, putting pieces of machinery on the property, digging big holes with backhoes. I really earned some brownie points with the Lord because I spent a lot of time in prayer. And anyway, she's not like that anymore, but the first decade over here, it was rough. It was really, really rough. And for me, I never want to make contact with anybody or strike anyone, or I don't want to have to defend myself. But if you come in my personal space or you do this thing in my face, I'm not going to let you hit me. So that's not happening. But anyway, we're talking about things that can protect your dog. A muzzle doesn't just protect the public. I mean, no dog that bites people for a living, that's a liability. The Mastiff would never bite anyone unless you threaten to hurt the children or the family. And that's it. And I'll tell you, if you're on the Facebook page, you can talk to any one of our clients that have come here, had a meal when they were picking up their puppy, they hung out with my dogs. They'll tell you. They rolled around the floor with my dog, Patton, Kiana. Some of my clients bring treats for mom when they come to pick up their puppy. But, you just can't break in. You just can't break in. But then, if you don't want a dog that has, that loyalty and will protect your home, then I suggest you find a Schnauzer breeder. My clients, our clients, know what they want. They want that strong, calm, safe, honest, huge dog that is beautiful to look at and is so trustworthy around their children. They lay in the yard and they watch the children play, and they play like they just watch the children. And how can you fault a dog for that? In my experience, no problem horses, only problem riders. If your dog does something that he shouldn't have done, it's not the dog's fault. It's a trainer error. So that's all. I don't want to rag your ear off. I wanted to talk about security cameras and muzzles. If you're getting a big, a pup from us and you're in public a lot, or you want to go parades or whatever, you might want to consider a muzzle, not to protect the public. Because unless somebody tries to hurt you, the dog don't care. These are the greatest dogs on the planet. The muzzle protects anyone from saying, oh, your dog nipped me. How can the dog nip you? How can the dog nip you? Stop it. So I've learned ways to protect my dogs from the public. public. Unfortunately, when I'm in public, I have to say things like, hold on, I see you want to pat my dog. Let me come to you. And then I will walk, make a signal to the dog. We're going to walk to that person. I will put my hand on the person's shoulder and let them pat the dog then. I tell the dog it's okay. Don't let anybody run up to you. No dog will appreciate that. So again, you got to respect yourself. You got to respect your animal. And if you want a schnauzer, buy a schnauzer. These are not schnauzers. And there's nothing better than walking through a sea of mastiffs on when you get up at night, you just look and you got all your mastiffs laying in the floor. It's just, I feel like this. When I'm home alone, here's what I think of when I get up. I go, if my dog's, I might hear something, but I go, Lily. And Lily looks over. And I go, did you hear that, girl? And she goes, my dogs have hearing like you would not believe. I feel like this. If my dog don't hear it, I don't need to know. And I got security cameras everywhere. So, listen, it's 2025. Security cameras are good. I don't care if you have a dog or not. Anyway, if you have any questions or you want to ask about product, I'm not getting paid to say any of this. There are things you can do to protect your animals from the public. Okay? And remember, not everybody that is admiring your dog can afford a dog like you. And I tell people you shouldn't have to feel, listen, supporting, and this is all getting off on a tangent, you'll never get rid of backyard breeders. Unfortunately, I have to stay off Facebook Marketplace because I look at pups all over the place being bred, and I look at the parents and go, that's not the standard. And oh my God, all puppies are cute, but that's what the puppy's going to look like. And wow, people are really unaware and they haven't done their homework. And the truth is,